Hey, what's going on, freedom fighters? Welcome back to another broadcast on Break the Chains Media. Today is November 3rd, 2025. The sun is going down. Winter has commenced. Falling back your calendars, your clocks, whatever world timeline we are living in. It gets dark at like 5 o'clock now. I love it. It's great. Winter's here. Really pissed off about that. But either way, Halloween weekend has come and gone. November 1st has come and gone. We are sitting here 2 days after the freeze on Snap. So we are witnessing, we are experiencing, we are a part of the SNAPocalypse, right? That is the worry that we are facing in this world today. Millions of Americans are unable to go about with government-funded food and food stamps, and they can't fend for themselves. It's terrible. It's a debacle. It's a catastrophe. So we are going to get into all that. We are going to speak on some of the court orders. Apparently, the court feels like it's able to just tell Trump what to do, because that's just how law works, apparently, to this. Mind you, not the Supreme Court, just a lower federal court just says, you can't do that. I think it was a court out of Maryland or some shit. But we are going to get into that. We're also going to do a rundown on just a couple of Colorado politics things. You know, the Libertarian Party, just a complete shell and husk of its former self. It's hilarious to watch this implosion happen in real time on Twitter. And then, talk about Colorado politics. Election day is tomorrow. Excuse me. Wow. Election day is tomorrow. So with that being said, we are going to talk about how to vote, what at least in this area, at least in Jefferson County. I have information on Jefferson County. I encourage every Coloradan to vote, get out there and turn in these ballots, because the off-season elections are the ones that kind of end up fucking us the most when it comes down to it, because the off-season elections are the ones that have the school board or the city council or at-large positions. So a lot of these local elections happen on off-season elections. So if you're not paying attention, if you're not getting involved, that is a problem. So we're going to get into all that. If this is the first time joining Break the Chains Media, the live streams here, we do live streams Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays here on Rumble, on YouTube, and on Twitter as well. We are trying to branch out a little bit more, maybe seeing some Facebook folks or some Instagram people. I'm trying to really pull in a lot of these untapped potential on these other social media markets. I mean, I have Minds, I have Gab, I have so many different other platforms. So I got to get out there. So if you want to help that, you share this video, give me a thumbs up, let your friends and family know that we are doing this, at least in the Colorado space, in the Colorado scene, trying to tie in national news with Colorado politics, and then how we move forward in that. How do we break the chains and break this system that is around us, right? Because that is how they control us. If we are a slave to the system, we will never ever be able to kind of live in our own lives and be free. So with that being said, we have some great news. If you are interested, if you are passionate about Colorado politics and you want to get involved yourself, if you want to, you can join the private Discord that we have set up. This is for, this Discord that we are working on and that we are setting up right now is a private Discord for Coloradans. And I want anyone who's willing and anyone who's able to definitely join the Discord. If you are interested, you got to shoot me a link. You got to shoot me a message on X or on Instagram. I'm trying to make sure that this Discord does not get overrun with just people just shit posting. I want people that are actively involved, who want to make that change here in Colorado. So if you are interested in joining the Mile High Liberty Discord, send me a DM or follow me on any of my social medias, and we'll get you connected. We'll get you set up, and then you could join the Discord. We talk about Colorado issues. We talk about ballot measures. We talk about candidates running. We want all this to happen in a very short time, so that way we can be prepared in this 2026 coming up midterm election cycle. The best way to do that is get involved on your local level. So if you are interested, join the Colorado Discord, Mile High Liberty. DM me on X or Instagram or any of my social media platforms. We're going to do that. And then you can also help out the channel. I know this is like shameless plug fucking central, but breakthechains.media is the website. Landing page is here. Go to Realm Walker Hot Sauce if you want to support the channel. Picking up a bottle of hot sauce, highly encourage it. The best hot sauce you will ever taste, I guarantee it. And then we also have Chainsaw Caucus. The Chainsaw Caucus. Getting all that going, getting it going and felling the trees of corruption, of government bureaucracy, and bloat. We have to get rid of the unnecessary trash that is infected and that has been completely overtaken our government, right? So the way to do that is cut through the bureaucracy, light up that chainsaw, and fell some of this government bloat. So join the Chainsaw Caucus. Check out chainsawcaucus.org or click on the affiliate link below, and you can support Break the Chains Media and Chainsaw Caucus at the same time. If you are interested, you can click on the give option here. It'll take you right over to their donation page. $10 a month minimum gets you a start, and you can drop down right here and you can be a part of Chainsaw Caucus and supporting me as your affiliate referral through Break the Chains Media. So I appreciate you. Without further ado, we are jumping right into it. And live stream is going hot, so feel free to say hello in the live stream. I appreciate everyone there. This is an accurate, updated political Venn diagram for Colorado, November of 2025. I kind of tweaked it. I don't know if you've seen it before, but it's a beautiful Venn diagram. You've got the Republicans, you've got the Democrats, and the Libertarians, but I tweaked it just slightly because the Republican side, it says the spine not included. This goes for state level as well as federal level, up top to bottom. The Republicans have no spine. They always show their bellies, and they always bend over and just submit to whatever sort of arbitrary bullshit they have to deal with. So I feel like Republicans really have to return to conservative values and what it means to really stand up for conservative meaning of how to limit the government, how to stand up for liberty and individual rights. And then particularly the Colorado Libertarians have been taken over by a particular pink-haired Gestapo member. In my humble opinion, this is a left-leaning libertarian, which is hilarious. I call them liberal tardians, but they believe in all of this. You know, gender has no spectrum, and borders don't exist, and sex work is in. Anyone can be a part of sex workers. Just all kinds of very, very. I don't want to call it extreme libertarianism, but it's very much a lens of cultural Marxism. By playing identity politics and playing cultural relevancies and through the lens of a Marxist takeovers and how they weaponize these cultural issues into political issues, and then try to represent that through liberty and freedom. If we, let's put it this way, and I'm going to be very blunt, very honest. If we allow for government to regulate marijuana industries, because we legalized marijuana here in Colorado, right? That was a very libertarian, very, very leftist-leaning mindset, right? Well, now we got a big problem because the government here in Colorado is raking in hand over fist taxable income or taxable resources from the marijuana industry, which is then funding this government bloat, which is then causing more government problems. And now the government's saying we don't have enough money because we haven't properly managed how the medical or how the marijuana industry operates here in Colorado. The government mismanages all the time. So when it becomes legalized, the government always gets its hands in it. And for these liberal tardians who are saying sex work is freedom of two individuals, consenting adults, whatever. But the whole pay to play sex work thing, I have a hard time with, because we end up perpetuating and fomenting a culture that is catered around arguably a hedonistic and deviant behavior, right? And I personally don't want to live in a society that is funded and fueled through first or very, very root chakra thinking, to perpetuate economies and societies built on the porn industry and sex work. I think is just very deviant and hedonistic, and to have the government regulate that only would perpetuate more debauchery in the government. So I don't want to participate in that. But that's just me. That's just my 2 cents. And then you have the Democrats over here, which are straight up communists. I mean, anymore, the Democrats here in Colorado are straight up communists. The Republicans do not have a spine. They're always yellow belly. They always roll over. They're always weak willed. And then you have the libertarians, or the liberal tardians, as I call them. But this is a great Venn diagram because you end up getting Republicans, libertarians that like guns and money. You get the Democrats and liberals that likes weed and gay people. You got the authoritarians that are both Democrats and Republicans, but they all agree on one thing, and that they hate the Libertarian Party, right? Because the Libertarian Party always can't figure out its ass from its elbow, doesn't know what it's doing. The Libertarian Party of Colorado, prior to this recent takeover, did a very good job trying to promote and perpetuate and push forward candidates who signed the Liberty Pledge. And the Liberty Pledge is extremely important, especially when we can run against candidates and have them sign the pledge, so that we can hold them accountable if and when they ever get into office, because they have a signed document saying that I will represent and I will stand for these specific issues. So the Liberty Pledge is, I think, super vital, particularly in Colorado. But I thought this was a fun little Venn diagram, right? So with that being said, we're rolling right along here. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Appreciate everyone joining the stream. Hit that thumbs up button. Going into talking about the Libertarian Party, the current co-opted Libertarian Party, whether it's firearms or migration, adult drag use, or gender identity, free people don't need the government's permission. Okay, and they posted this: free men don't ask permission, right? Well, a few hours earlier, the same account posted armed women don't get raped, right? Essentially saying that an armed society is a safe society because armed women who know how to defend themselves, can defend themselves against rapists, right? And I think that's totally valid. I think that's super 100% spot on the money. But when you follow a post about rapists and having that be the content, and then a few hours later you post about free men not needing to ask permission, people might be misconstrued. They might think, be like, obviously I'm playing a little bit. I'm kind of poking at him a little bit. But I said, for an account that earlier today posted about armed women being protected against rapists, this could severely be misunderstood. I just thought that was kind of funny. Kind of, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Update on the TPUSA event that happened in Boulder. I'm going to probably make a separate video on this, but let's see here. Maybe I can. Are we ready? Yeah, so that post's there. Great, love that. So the TPUSA event that was happening in Boulder, Colorado, a few days ago. There was a TP event in Boulder, Colorado that was attacked by a man with a hockey stick. This person was associated with radical. They wanted to attack radical right-wingers, as they claim, right? But this person was associated with Front Range Antifa and the Torch Antifa network. But apparently Antifa doesn't exist, right? Apparently Antifa is just a figment of our imagination. And now, imaginatory fake things can pick up hockey sticks, carry, and then bash other people in the head with them. Apparently ideas can just wield hockey sticks now. But this headline from 9 News, let's check it out really quick. We're going to open this in a new tab. Suspect arrested in Boulder hockey stick attack. That's the headline, okay? You got to fix your headline here, 9 News. The victim told police that he was on his way home from a Turning Point USA meeting at CU Boulder when the suspect hit him across the back of the head with a hockey stick. Okay? They're definitely destroying the headline here because and that's why I said talk about a misleading headline. Suspect claims to be associated with the Front Range Antifa, but Antifa doesn't exist, and the left is never violent, right? So this happened on October 23rd. It happened over a week ago, okay? But they were searching for this suspect, and they ended up actually finding the suspect. So an update from Antifa Watch. They're watching a figment of our imagination, folks. Antifa doesn't exist, right? Mugshot released of Taylor James Rose, arrested for attacking a TPUSA secretary with a hockey stick at the University of Colorado following that TPUSA secretary being doxxed by several violent Torch Antifa groups. Okay? Taylor James Rose was charged with assault in the second degree, a felony. DDA McKenna Mayfield noted in a bond hearing today that was politically motivated, unprovoked attack. You don't say. It almost sounds like Antifa just likes to foment violence and division against anyone who disagrees with them. Antifa is the perpetuators of this violent communist revolution. That is where the whole concept of Antifa roots from. In the 1930s and 40s in Germany, they were a radical militant group of the Communist Party of Germany, rising in opposition against Hitler's fascist regime. And that's how the term Antifa came to be, right? So yeah, this person now has been arrested. I think his scheduled court hearing is tomorrow the 4th. But justice needs to be served, and these people do exist. As much as I still get hate on the post saying that Antifa is just an ideology, Antifa doesn't exist, right? Police make arrest in hockey stick assault. Detectives looking for a second person of interest in Boulder, Colorado. Department have released a man connected to an assault with a hockey stick that occurred last week. Okay, they got the pictures here. They got the post here. It's super blurry, and it's a guy wearing a buff. I mean, it's pretty nondescript. But these are the pictures that the Boulder police released. But yes, that is the update from the TPUSA event. That was that the secretary was attacked by a violent left-wing Antifa cultist, and these people don't exist. I beg to differ. I mean, the left are going to continue saying that it's just an ideology. It can be two things at once, folks. Being anti-fascist is an idea, is a concept, but the Antifa cell network that is across this country and across the world are very real, and these people have MOs, they have intentions, they have plans, and they want to stir up violence, and they want to stir up division in our communities. Be aware and be prepared, okay? I'm trying to do something new here. If you haven't noticed on the live stream, I'm trying to record segments in the live stream so that hopefully I can spout out shorter little clips that might be a little bit more digestible for the live or for the people that aren't able to join the live streams. Maybe these shorter clips might be a little bit more favorable. But anyways, appreciate y'all joining me here in the live stream. Give me that thumbs up and share the video, share the stream, share the feed. We are going to get into the SNAPocalypse. Kyle Clark reporting. Yeah? Keeps doing that. Kyle Clark reporting on the SNAPocalypse. It is November 3rd, 2025. Food lines were twice normal this morning at the Weld Food Bank, which told me that 2/3 of their visitors said that they were impacted by the SNAP benefit freeze. Our micro campaign has raised $50,000 for Weld Food Bank so far. Even $5 helps. Hey, you know what? A broken clock is right twice a day. Kyle Clark, we're gonna give you a round of applause for actually being a community leader and doing something beneficial for the community, right? Because that is what it's all about, folks. This is point proven 100% that when the community is in need, the community will respond in kind. Okay, we don't need the government for anything. This is actually proving the point that SNAP is a superfluous or a erroneous, extraneous tax and extraneous labor from the federal government, using our tax money to siphon multiple millions, if not billions of dollars into a food program that is being taken advantage of, that is being abused by people who refuse to encourage themselves with upper mobility, encourage themselves to do better in their own lives, right? So the community right here, right now, point proven example from Kyle Clark saying that the World Food Bank has a lot more people showing up, but they've raised $50,000 for the World Food Bank. Are we seeing this problem be solved by not the government for once? It's mind-blowing, and liberals don't really understand this. Is that the liberals leftists think that the government will be the arbiter of the solutions to all of your problems, right? They will be the ones who will guide you and take care of you and tuck you in at night. The government is there for you. That is fundamentally false and incorrect. We have to use our community. We have to use the people involved around your life to make a change. Okay? Look at even the comments. Thank you for proving we don't need the government to help people in times of needs. Democrats should stop playing politics and pass the clean CR bill. And that's the whole other thing, is that the Democrats are going to use this as, and they still are, they're still continuing to say it's the Republicans' fault, when in fact we need a 60 vote threshold. Okay, this is how, and the whole filibuster thing, and the fact that the Republicans have an opportunity to basically remove the filibuster. If they wanted to pass their bill, they could remove the filibuster and pass it on a simple majority of 51 votes. That is foresight, or that is foresighted knowledge, and I think it's under utter failure. If the Republicans decide to, and it might be working in two ways here. The Democrats might want the Republicans to destroy the filibuster and go to the simple majority of 51 votes, but that in turn would cause way more problems down the line, because then you start talking about simple majority vote passings for almost everything. And that almost defeats the purpose of the Senate. The Senate should be one of the main places that legislation gets stalled and slowed down, because we need that debate. We need that conversation. We shouldn't be able to pass things on a simple majority. That's actually how a lot of the Supreme Court justices came into play, because they were able to pass on a simple majority, and it backfired on the Democrats. Okay, so now the Democrats would like to see this 60 vote threshold be eliminated. That's the filibuster option, right? They want to see that get abolished, so that way they could pass simple majority bills on the continuing resolutions. I think that's a terrible plan. So the Republicans need to hold their ground, but the Democrats need to also come to the table. If the Democrats came to the table and actually tried to vote on this 60 vote threshold, we can actually get somewhere, right? This is article. The SNAP benefit will restart, but will be half the normal payment and delayed. Okay, this goes directly into what the court case, or what the court order was against Trump and about food and about the SNAP benefits. Okay, and particularly they're talking about the Food Benefit Emergency Fund. There's an emergency fund that the federal government has stashed away in times of emergency. Meaning like natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, fire victims, you name it. That emergency fund is for specific natural disaster emergencies and in times of mass crisis, right? Not the government being shut down. The government being shut down is not an emergency. It is the government proving to us that they're inept, and neither of them are just, we're both at an impasse. How are we going to move forward with a government shutdown like this? But let's get into the article here, okay? The Trump administration says it will restart SNAP food benefits, but it will pay out to only half the amount of people normally get. The administration will use money from an Agricultural Department contingency fund. The administration says there's only $4.65 billion available in that fund to pay for SNAP benefits, which is roughly half of the $8 billion in food assistance payments people receive every month. So they're only going to get half the amount. But this court filing, excuse me, officials said depleting that fund means no fund will remain for new SNAP applicants certified in November, disaster assistance, or a cushion against the potential catastrophic consequences of shutting down SNAP entirely. Well, you kind of just answered your own question here. Like, this is saying that this fund is for disaster assistance or a cushion against potential catastrophic consequences of a SNAP shutdown entirely. To pull from it now would be stupid and irresponsible. I think the government needs to hold its tone, right? The Trump administration had until Monday to tell 2 federal judges its plan to restore funding for SNAP amidst the ongoing federal government shutdown. The decision comes after 2 federal judges ruled that freezing payments for this country's biggest anti-hunger program is unlawful. So the court is basically weaponizing the judicial branch against the executive branch, saying you have to do a thing. Meanwhile, the legislative branch is the one that has to approve the measure. So Trump can't do anything unless Congress does something. And right now, the Congress is at an impasse. So the court is basically saying, do the thing. The court's trying to go around Congress to tell Trump what to do, but Trump's trying to wait for Congress to pass the fucking continued resolution. It's all a big clusterfuck, folks. It's ridiculous. Even as money ran out this weekend, the 42 million people who rely on SNAP to put food on the table, the government's response is part of the case in Rhode Island. Court tells Trump to use emergency funds. Both judges said that Congress provided more than $5 billion in emergency funds, exactly this kind of situation, and they rejected the Trump administration's argument that it could not legally use that money to keep SNAP going, even though it literally is. Like, it's, if these judges want Trump to do something illegal by going around Congress, meanwhile these judges are also the same people that are going to complain that Trump is doing illegal things with ICE, right? It's ridiculous. Let's see what this says here. Yeah, a judge says that the Trump administration has to fund SNAP. What happens next? Okay, this is a whole conversation, but I'm not going to read this whole conversation. But in essence, this judge is basically saying you got to do the thing. You have to do it right now. It's unlawful if you don't. And Trump's just like, I need Congress to show up. I need Congress to do something. In Rhode Island, Judge John McConnell Jr. called for the contingency fund to be used as soon as possible. A second judge, Indira Talwani, in Boston, said officials could also tap into additional money from customs revenue, but she left that decision up to the Trump administration, which it had declined to do. Folks, we are at an impasse right now because the Senate will not approve the continuing resolution. We need actual, honest response like this, okay? Kyle Clark, broken clock can be right twice a day. Local community programs that actually fund and help people that need it. We don't need government bureaucracy and bullshit and pointing fingers and having courts force Trump to do this. Trump's waiting on Congress to do that. Congress trying to abolish a filibuster. Such a headache. We need to get past it. We need to get beyond it. SNAP needs to be completely reworked, revamped, brought down to the standard of WIC, where it's specific items, food, such as food stamps for meat and cheese and produce, and specific items like not box stuff, not crappy sugar-laden drinks, not candies and gummies and snacks and all this other BS. Basic staples, ideally staples that are even found in your local. Maybe you get a discount if you locally source it. This is how we have to rework systems, and how we have to rework how government money actually is effective versus people being dependent on said government funds. So we will see what happens with this whole SNAPocalypse, this looming crisis. But right now, it looks like communities are coming together amidst the chaos that is happening at the federal level. But that is the solution that I encourage everyone to have, is that we need to get local and start solution-oriented decision-making now in our communities. Be the change you wish to see here. Don't worry about what happens over there, right? So, I just think that is what you need to do for SNAP. And I am trying to get better at this recording and streaming at the same time. So hopefully that video will come out, and maybe I'll add something to it here or there. But either way, trying to clip things in a live stream is interesting, but apparently I can do it. So hopefully it doesn't mess up the live stream at all. That's the only thing. Thumbs up in the chat if everything's good, if the audio is good, if nothing's on a delay. Either way. Yeah, it looks like it's good. We are good. I just think this whole SNAP thing is just oh, right here. Watch this. Food banks can't replace SNAP. What is clear that a lot of money has disappeared from people's food budgets, and the anti-hunger advocates say food banks alone will not be able to make up the difference. We're in uncharted territory, Elizabeth Keever, a chief resource officer at Harvesters Food Bank in Kansas City, Missouri. It's nearly impossible to make up the gap that SNAP is leaving us, but we're doing everything we can to make sure things are easy. We're easing this burden for folks. But right here, it shows that they raised $50,000 at a local food bank in Weld County. So it can be done. They're just fear mongering, saying we need government. We need more government. If we don't have the right amount of government, people are going to go hungry. No, people just need to be more responsible for their own fucking lives. My thoughts. But yeah, so then I wanted to get into, where is it here? I wanted to get into the election stuff. The election items. Thumbs up in the chat. We are wrapping up here just in a few minutes. I'm trying to shorten these live streams so they're not so fucking long. But we are going to run into the next stream here, the next content of this. I got it right here. Let's get into it. Tomorrow is election day, or if you're watching this, it might be the day of. So make sure you get out with your ballots, turn it in Colorado today, because it's a special election. It's an off-cycle election year for our local communities, for our local offices, for our school districts, city of Arvada, Edgewater. All these different cities have a lot of local things for city council. You name it, it's happening today or tomorrow, whatever. I don't know, right? I'm still trying to work out this live stream recording thing. So Jefferson County Republican Party here has a how to vote if you are in Jefferson County here, if you are willing and interested to be a part of the election process here in November of 2025 here in Colorado, because this is important, and local elections are important. Local elections are what make this state, and the best way that we can be a part and be in charge of our own city, what happens in our daily lives around us. The local elections are the most important ones. I see you there, Seth. Appreciate you. The local elections are the most important ones. And with understanding how we vote and what we vote, and when we go out to vote tomorrow, when you go out with your ballot and drop it off, I always do it in person. Even though I like the whole mail-in ballot thing, it's a whole can of worms. I know. The election integrity in Colorado is frail, to say it lightly, in my personal opinion. Or as the Chinese call it, Erection Day. Exactly. That is great. But I do have this here. I also have some other information here about early ballots being returned. This was from the Colorado Democrats. They posted this earlier today. They're claiming, I mean, technically they're not wrong, but if anybody that knows anything about elections in Colorado understands and knows, Colorado voters are broken about 25, 25, 50. It's a pretty clean breakdown when you look at the numbers, but just over 1 million registered Democrats in the state of Colorado. That number is going down, actually, if you want to get to the minutia, and then just under or just at 1 million registered Republicans in Colorado, and that number is going up if you want to get into the minutia. But we've got almost 2.5 million registered unaffiliated voters in Colorado. So when the Democrats of Colorado here post this post, I have to put it out there and say, I'm gonna check you real quick. Democrats are outvoting Republicans in Colorado. This is all because of the invaluable, nonstop work of our county parties. And they've got the numbers down here. They've got it down here. Let's pull it up. Okay. Total ballots returned as of 11:59 on November 2nd, 2025, here in Colorado. Democrats have 250,000 ballots and change. The Republicans have 245,000 and change, right? Which is only a 5,000 difference. And this is early voting as well, folks. you know as well as I do, Republicans show up on election day. The majority of Republicans know and appreciate and understand the importance of having an election day. So they go out on election day to do it. So the early ballots shouldn't really tell you too much, because it all shows up, I think, day of. But it is an off election year. It is a cycle that's very untelevised or underreported at minimum. So I encourage everyone to take your ballots and vote accordingly. And I have that voter information here in just a second. But you got 350,000 unaffiliated voters here in Colorado that have turned in their ballots early. So when the Democrats say the Democrats are outvoting Republicans in Colorado, they are technically correct, but they do not take into account the 350,000 unaffiliated voters who may not be voting for Democrat policies. And I can't speak for them. I don't know. But I do know that a majority of Colorado is an issue-based voter demographic. The voters in Colorado vote on issues and policies, not necessarily on platform. And I think that actually, I mean, if you want to get into the real worms, the real weeds of it, the election integrity is a huge component of how Colorado elections do play out. And I have to be honest, and I have to put that little pin every time I talk about elections and I talk about voting, because I do think that there is a level of corruption and a level of incompetency or willful ignorance when it comes to our Secretary of State, Jenna Griswold, and how election processes are, and the fact that mail-in ballots and unaffiliated voters are, a majority of them are actually illegal immigrants, right? There's so many variables that come into the demographics when we're talking about the actual registered voters and how voters actually show up for elections, right? So there's a lot of gray area. There's a lot of pull and play. But I just want to show that, like, you know, I basically said that. I wonder how many of the 350,000 turnouts of the unaffiliated voters are sick of Colorado Democrat policies. Leftists love living in their delusions. And I'm just trying to be a realist and say, you know, the unaffiliated voters make or break elections here in Colorado every single cycle. Every single election, the unaffiliateds are the ones who show up for one party or another, or one issue or another. So that's why I make these videos, so that you are aware of what to vote for and how to vote, right? And then you got this deep, not shallow jabroni here on X. He's a leftist archetype here on Twitter, but he's claiming Colorado has more blue states. Colorado has more blue counties than red counties, and more people live in Denver County than all of those other red counties combined. Colorado is a blue state. Colorado is one of the few remaining states with both blue urban and rural areas too. Okay? And I look at this and I'm just like, bruh, like, where are you getting that information, man? Like, I'm not discrediting the fact that Colorado has been coincidentally blue since the DNC in 2008, since Obama won, and ever since then they've shifted and changed policies to encourage Democrat victories in majority of our elections. But that's a whole nother video, right? Point I was trying to make is that this map is not accurate, and I posted this. And this is a blue skewed map, just going off voter registration alone. 50% of Colorado is unaffiliated. Colorado is for sure an issue-based voter demographic, but not necessarily partisan politics. Okay? A lot of people seem to be liking that post. But I wanted to preface you with this to then show from Shots over here. Shots bringing it to the people here. And Shots is saying, not going to argue that Colorado is red, but it's not as blue as you think, and certainly Democrat socialists would not be as widely accepted in rural blue counties as much as in Denver. So when you think about the real demographic breakdown of Colorado counties and Colorado, the map of Colorado, okay, a majority of our voting comes from this area here, okay, and a lot of these counties are sparse. But you're talking Eagle County. I think Eagle County is over here. You got Aspen over here. You got Vail over here. You got all these hyper wealthy, elitist, liberal mountain homes and mountain towns that are run by a bunch of bougie fucking slopers, fucking ski slopers that have multiple millions of dollars that probably snowbirds in here as their second home or whatever the case have you, from California, from Texas. All these liberal elitists live in these mountain cities, mountain communities, which can skew those demographics. But according to this map and according to these numbers, it's not as blue as Mr. Deep Not Shallow is claiming it is. Okay, and even that win, and the fact is that, and you can actually see the runoff of these other numbers here. If you pulled in these other numbers up into the Republican candidacy, you're getting a lot. You're getting another almost 100,000 people voting. But I just think it's really about policies and about issue-based voting is how Colorado really runs this. And Kamala obviously takes it away with Colorado, because that's just how the cookie crumbles, especially in the Denver metro. But if you even look at these two little graphics here, you can see that a lot of these white districts on Deep Not Shallow's post are actually red districts. So a lot of white in these areas are actually red. But let's get into it, folks. Election ballot information for Jefferson County. Republican voter guide. Coordinated election, in-person voting begins October 27th. Election day is tomorrow, or today if you're watching it, November 4th, 2025. State ballot measures. Remember this, folks. Remember this. We're going to break it down real quick, real simple, real easy. We all love Tabor. You like getting a Tabor refund? You like making sure the government doesn't take your Tabor money? What you need to do is understand that any proposition that has a double letter name, such as Proposition LL or Proposition MM, these propositions are directly impacting or directly circumventing how Tabor's system operates here in Colorado. So you always vote no on the double letter items, okay? The double letter propositions, you always vote no. If it says without raising any taxes, without raising or incurring any more taxes, you vote no, because it's always a workaround. They're basically saying we're going to take your money and we're going to redistribute it somewhere else, okay? Jeffco school districts, R1. District 1, it says to not vote. District 2, it says Samuel Myrant. Samuel Myrant for District 2 of the Jeffco School District. And for District 5, that's Gloria Terry Rascone. I met her. She's actually really cool. She has a really good idea and understanding on how to bring back faith and belief into the school district. Because Jeffco School District, oh my gosh, we can make a whole video just on the Jeffco School District alone, how disgusting and corrupt and blue hair policy, these pink hair, purple hair, rainbow uniform, gender non-conforming people are on these school boards. They actually want to contort and twist the minds of these children. Okay, City of Arvada council members. So you got Michael Griffin at large. Michael Griffin at large is what the Jefferson County Republican Party says. Council member District 1 and District 3 says don't vote. So it says this, and I'm just trying to share the information. I'm telling you how to do it or what to do, but this is just what I'm gathering from the Jefferson County Republican Party. Research these candidates, figure out what would work best for you. But I know that the school district has got a lot of union people in there, so we want to make sure that when we're talking about the school district, don't vote for anyone that wants to be part of the teachers union, right? So when we're talking about the school district, it's Samuel Myrant for District 2 and Gloria Terry Rascone for District 5. That's for the Jeffco School District. City of Arvada, Michael Griffith at large. And then District 1 and 3, it says not to vote. So rather than voting for someone better of two evils, I guess it's best not to vote at all. Ballot question 3G says to vote no. City of Edgewater, don't vote at all for anything. Says mayor or city council, don't vote. And you know what? I think a lot of these don't votes are because there's no one of valid merit There's no one of good merit and good valor to step in and run for these seats. So if you want to be the change, if you want to be something, if you want to involve yourself in your local communities, maybe you get up off your ass and start running for some city offices, whether it's mayors, city councils, wards, you name it. They're all here. But I guarantee you, if we had liberty-minded candidates, if we had people involved in their local politics and we're able to run like this, I bet you we get a lot less no votes and a lot more liberty-minded candidates, right? City of Golden, Ward 1, 2, and 3, and 4 are up for votes. It looks like we're looking for Loretta Huff and Brendan Fearley for City of Golden. City of Lakewood, Ward 1 through 5 are available for election this cycle. Ward 1 and 2, it says to not vote. Ward 3, Pete Roybal. Ward 4, Ariel Manzanares Sissany. And Ward 5, Karen Gordy. Ward 5 for Karen Gordy. Let's vote in Lakewood for Karen Gordy. She's an awesome patriot, and I highly recommend. Yes, absolutely. No, and this is what you have to do. The more people that get involved, the better off we are, folks. The more conversations we can be had. What is going on, Melindy? Appreciate you jumping in. City of Westminster, Mayor Bruce Baker or David DeMott. Okay. Bruce Baker or David DeMott. City Council vote for 3. So apparently there's a lot of City of Westminster people running, but we're looking for Kathy Stroud, Philip Romano, and Jeremy Nuanez. These people, educate yourself. Find out who's actually going to be the best candidate for you. I'm just listing off what they have gathered as their best opportunities to vote forward. Ballot question 3H for the City of Westminster. Vote no. City of Wheat Ridge, Mayor, it says to not vote, which probably means it's not good for the City of Wheat Ridge if you don't have a Republican or liberty-minded candidate running for mayor. So y'all are in trouble. I can only imagine what Arvada's is like. Yeah. So yeah, we got DeMott. So we're looking for, so City of Westminster, David DeMott or Bruce Baker, either one. But it looks like, according to Seth, we're looking for David DeMott. So I'm with DeMott. Yeah. Cool. Sounds good. And then City Council member District 3 and District 4 are up in Wheat Ridge. Justin Slocum for District 3. And District 4, it says to not vote. Another opportunity for someone in Wheat Ridge to run and change the outcome of this city and how we can make it better in our liberty-minded minds, right? Ballot question 2B for City of Westminster. City of Wheat Ridge. 2B. Vote no. So, folks, with all this being said, this is how. So, yeah, let's see what this don't vote means. Don't vote in Jeffco School Board D1 is an unforced error. If you are serious about breaking the disastrous union grip on Jeffco schools, Denine Echevarria is an obvious choice. She supports transparency, accountability, and parents' rights and financial responsibility. Interesting. Let's find her out right now. Let's do a quick little sidestep. Let me pull this up here really quick. Let's see. Jeffco. Let's take a look. Voter guide. Chalkbeat. Okay, let's take a look. I got it all pulled up here. So, this is the Jeffco School Board. Okay? Looking at Jeffco School Board candidates based on this comment. Looks like people are appreciating it. He's saying in Jeffco School Board D1 is an unforced error if you do not vote. If you are serious about breaking the disastrous union grip on Jeffco schools, Denine Echevarria is an obvious choice. She supports transparency, accountability, parents' rights, and financial responsibility. All that sounds great for me. Let's take a look and see. Okay, Denine Echevarria, and this is like a Q&A, so it's pretty detailed Q&A. but it is off of chalkbeat.org. Please introduce yourself. We'll just read the first. This is for District 1 in Jefferson County, Colorado. Introduce yourself to readers and tell you what you're running for the Jeffco School Board. If you're an incumbent, what do you hope to accomplish in another term? If you're a first-time candidate, what motivated you to seek this position? And this is her response, Deneen Echeverria. I am the proud mom of 3, one Jeffco graduate, one current high school student, and toddler of the class 2042. For decades, I have worked in public education in roles ranging from classroom teacher, after-school staff, to program administrator. This experience has given me a deep understanding of what our classroom truly needs to help students thrive. Today, I work for educational nonprofits supporting educational leaders across the state. In addition, I bring the perspective of small business owners with years of experience in managing budgets and ensuring strong returns of investment. I'm running for school board to keep the focus where it belongs, on students. I know from firsthand experience that we must provide multiple pathways for student success, ensuring every learner is engaged and prepared for the future. The board must be carefully evaluate which programs are working and invest in those while letting go of initiatives that don't serve the students or teachers. With a district budget of over $1 billion, it's critical to have school board members with the experience to understand both education and fiscal responsibility. That, to me, sounds like a fucking win. If you want to be fiscally responsible with $1 billion on the school board, you got my vote, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, so it is interesting because you want to make sure that we're voting for the right candidates, right? This is talking about Evergreen High School shooting. Let me see. Facility safe. Partnership with law enforcement. Prevent every act. We must continue. Regular drills. Invest in school buildings. Latest, most effective safety, security. Let's read this. So this is a response. We must continue to build strong partnerships with law enforcement and ensure schools' resource officers' coverage is appropriate. We must keep up regular drills. Staff and students know exactly how to respond. We must invest in our schools' building to ensure the latest and most effectively safety and security technology is in place. We must also remember that safety includes mental health support for students and staff. Finally, we must continue to collaborate closely with parents and the community so that we are working together to keep our schools safe. I mean, that's reasonable. Okay, this is talking about mill levy override, layoff. The district's budget reduction blueprint calls for a cutting of staff positions in early of 2026. Then asking voters for a mill levy override later that year after the layoffs could take effect. Do you support this cut first, tax later strategy, or would you approach the $39 million shortfall differently? The last few years have been financially challenging for many Jeffco families. Yeah, I heard that. Cost of gas and groceries rising. Many households still recovering from impacts of COVID. While the district has also faced challenges, funding has actually increased while enrollment has declined. I was just going to say that. Enrollment has gone down because there's less kids. Because people aren't having kids. So all these schools and all these middle schools, high schools, elementaries, like they're all consolidating. They're closing, they're shutting down schools. They're laying off teachers because there are literally not enough children. Our birth rate's in the gutter, folks. Let's keep going. According to the 2024 annual financial report, Jeffco's spending per student has grown from just over $10,000 in 2020 to more than $13,000 today, more than a 30% increase. At the same time, student enrollment has dropped nearly 10%, with over 7,800 fewer students in our schools. Despite this decline, the number of administrators has risen by more than 10%. So she's speaking my language by saying enrollment has gone down, cost per student has gone up, and cost of administration has gone up, but the children's performance has gone down. Wow. Community members have been telling me that before they will consider supporting additional funding, the district must right-size its spending. This does not mean layoffs. It means making structural changes in how the district is organized so that resources are focused where they matter most, in classrooms, directly supporting students and teachers. She's got my fucking vote for District 1. If you're going to talk about being financially responsible, fiscally responsible, and holding the school board, holding the school district accountable on how you spend all your money, you got my vote. Deneen Echeverria. It's a long name to pronounce, but hey, I appreciate that. And then, so yeah, you got, Gloria Terry Rascone is the other one. So Deneen Echeverria and Gloria Terry Rascone are two, in my opinion, that would be good. Then a lot of these are union-backed, and then there was one that was union-backed that's no longer union-backed. So be wary of that, folks. But we are wrapping up this little segment here. Jefferson County Republican Party. This is a recommendation. It's not everything like we just found out. Jeffco School District 1 should be Deneen Echeverria. And then you vote District 2, Samuel Myrant. And then you vote District 5, Gloria Terry Rascone. That is how we change the Jeffco School District and how we change getting all the, how they're not only wasting our money, but completely indoctrinating our kids and allowing all these arguably dangerous child abusers. We have 33 child abuse cases from the Jefferson School Board or school district in its entirety. Absolutely disgusting, folks. So with that being said, get out and vote on November 4th. If you got your ballot, fill it out right now and walk it right to a ballot location. You drop it off, you get it done. It's got to happen, and it's going to happen soon. So, yeah, with that, we are not signing off, but I'm signing off of this stream that I'm recording, but I'm not signing off of the stream because I just stopped the recording, but I'm still on the stream. It's very confusing. I'm trying to do two things at once with these live streams, trying to cut clips out of the live stream as I'm recording. So we're killing two birds with one stone with a live stream. And I should have been doing this a long time ago, but didn't know that was a thing until just recently. Maybe it's because of the update it just had. But folks, with that being said, I appreciate Melindy in the chat. I appreciate Seth in the chat. Went on a little bit longer than I wanted to, but with that being said, folks, check out the Chainsaw Caucus. The Chainsaw Caucus, revving up your chainsaws, cutting down government bloat, cutting down the waste, fraud, and abuse that happens. I mean, when you talk about Doge, the only time you really need to talk about Doge is unless you got a chainsaw in your hand. You got to cut through the crap. And Chainsaw Caucus is doing that. It is a 527 pack, nationwide pack, chainsawcaucus.org. You can check out all their mission statements here, inspired by Javier Milei, the Afuera movement. You can click on the Give button up here in the top right corner. Comes to the donation page. $10 a month helps you out. $10 a month helps out me with my affiliate referral. It's on the right-hand side. You can click on Corey Blair with Break the Chains Media. And you can donate $10 a month to Chainsaw Caucus. That gets you going in the fight for liberty, in the fight against government bloat and bureaucracy with the Chainsaw Caucus. And then check out Realm Walker Hot Sauce if you want to buy a hot sauce. Want to buy a hot sauce? There it is, folks. We are wrapping up this live stream. I'm going to be trying to do a little bit different stuff here. Hopefully those clips that I have are going to be quality movies, and I'm shorter little shareable videos that I can make into on different platforms, and that's the goal. I want to get more on Instagram. I want to get more on some of these platforms that I'm not regularly on, because I need to branch out so that there's more people getting this information. And what helps me is you sharing this video, giving me a thumbs up, and even if it's not this video, just share breakthechains.media. Share the website, share the link, because that is how people get involved and active in your communities. And for those who are really wanting to be active in your communities, shoot me a DM on Break the Chains M, which is on Twitter here. Shoot me a DM, okay? Because we have a private Discord that you could be a part of once you get verified, once you get vetted. Mile High Liberty, and we're coming to the people. We're coming to the streets. We're planning grassroots door knocking campaigns, educating Colorado voters on what are important topics to be had, what are important candidates to be had, what are our 2026 midterm goals, and how we can turn the tide here in Colorado. So message me on Break the Chains M on X or wherever you're finding this. Find me, follow me, even in a comment down below. Get involved and join our private Discord community where other people in Colorado we can network and we can get involved and start door knocking, start funding, start team building, start strategizing our plans to take back this state from the communists in the 2026 midterms. But with that being said, folks, we are going to be wrapping up here. I wanted to actually jump in. Who should we stream? Or who should we raid? Let me see if I can actually find it. Like, I guess, see who's live right now, maybe? Who's live right now? Anyone? Bueller? A lot of people are live right now. I don't really see anybody, but either way, okay, with that being said, folks, I do appreciate you all hanging out with me on Break the Chains Media. Tomorrow is Tyranny Response Tuesday. We're going to be doing a little bit more of a deep dive into some FBI deep dive into maybe some Charlie Kirk stuff, into some Epstein stuff. It's going to be hairy. It's going to be gritty, but don't miss it. Break the Chains Media will always be here for you. And with that being said, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, fight for freedom and never give up.